You know this fella?
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order of the Jackson County Board of Commissioners today, August 2nd, 2022. First item of business is the approval of our agenda, and we do have a change on our agenda for today. Item number 2, which is the fireworks display request. We're going to be removing that item. They don't have all the necessary paperwork in order yet for that application to be processed. So we'll take it off of today's agenda and we'll place it on a future agenda so that we can ratify it at that time. But in its place, what we're going to do is substitute a business item called Youth Leadership Council. And we'll be hearing a presentation from Caleb Phillips. So if you'll pencil that in. That's the only change that I have. Any other changes to the agenda?
Motion to approve agenda as changed.
All right, have a motion to approve the amended agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Any question or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Also, we'll mention Commissioner Woody is not with us today. She is in attendance to the UNC School of Government. She's an advanced leadership core training. It was one that she had signed up for previously, and because of COVID, it had got delayed. So they happened to have it this week, and so she's there participating in that leadership core training. So I wish her well, and it's a great opportunity, and glad that she's able to participate. As we move into the next item on our agenda, that's the approval of our minutes. We have a set of minutes from our work session on July the 12th, and then a set of the regular meeting minutes on July 19th. After having had a chance to review those as distributed by the clerk, what's the pleasure of the board?
I say we move to approve the minutes as presented.
All right, motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Any question or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Next, administrative report. I don't have anything this evening. Commissioner Strickland, I'll start with you.
Chairman, I don't have anything this week.
Okay. Mr. Jones?
Just a little bit of information. Our Tourism Development Authority meeting was canceled for tomorrow. And Mr. Breedlove gave me a lot of good statistics. I'm not gone over them with him, but just to give you an idea, our number of vacation homes 3 years ago that was in the online rental pool was a little over 300. It is now 3.5 years later. It is 990 in that combination of pool. And give you an idea of what kind of money this generates. In 2016, the 4% occupancy tax on a nightly hotel room, the vacation home rental was 20%. In 2020, it was 40.5%, and in 21, it was 62%. So in just a few years, you can see the increase of those homes and increase of revenue is generated, not just in the 4% occupancy tax, but in the sales tax from everything from grocery stores to gas to hiking supplies, clothing supplies, etc. So tourism has took a big hold on Jackson County and increased our economy over the last 2 years significantly.
And so those numbers that you're quoting, the increase would reflect Airbnb, Vrbo, all those kind of organizations that rent.
Yes,
And
and
plus
even
privates.
and independent. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, very interesting.
We'll get Mr. Breedlove in front of us in the fall when kind of the fall color season's over, and we'll be astounded at the numbers I'm sure he'll get us.
Oh, I bet.
For sure. Commissioner Deeds, any report this evening?
Other than county manager and myself, we went down and visited the Animal Rescue Center a day or two ago, and that's quite interesting how far we've come, and still too got quite a distance to come. But I hadn't been down there since that construction started. I appreciate him taking me down, showing me around.
Okay, very good. Mr. Manager, do you have a report for this evening?
So I hope everybody had a good July month. That's usually a down month for our meetings and so forth, and obviously not for people who are working in the tourism business in the summertime. But so everything will start ramping back up. I'm talking about as far as government information at these meetings, and coming our next work session, we'll have quite a few items on there, and everything will start ramping back up from a governmental standpoint. I do want to just put back in front of you that we are still accepting applications for the Citizens Academy. Um, as of today, I believe we've gotten about 12 applications. I believe we've got enough to proceed forward in this program. We can handle up to 25, so I do encourage, if you know anybody who wishes to apply or wishes to participate, please do so. I want to go ahead and put this in front of you because I do believe we're going to hold this. And normal on this week one, this September 8th, this first meeting, the board members, you're invited. You're invited to pop in on any of these presentations, but this is one where some time is given to board members if you just wish to address and help kick off this whole series of meetings and so forth. So just if you put that on your calendar, that's when we'll start. We start food at 5 p.m. and then we try to get started right at 5:30, and we try to be conscious of the people's time so that we get them out of here. And so just want to put that down for you. Again, application deadlines are August 11th. If we're not at the full 25, I'd like to try to get as many applications as we can by August 11th. And if we still have some late comers after August 11th, we'll try to follow through and see if we can accommodate them. But I do just I do recommend, if anybody's interested in their local government, please come and participate. It gives people an insight that they normally would not get. We do take individuals into secured areas like in our dispatch center with our E911 dispatchers, telecommunicators, to the jail area, to insight to some of our health department operations, things of that nature that citizens really just don't get a chance to access. We also give opportunities for these citizens to meet elected officials and the leadership in all of these organizations to make the connection. And I'll go ahead and make this statement for the first time this season, and then by the time it's over, I'll hopefully have everybody repeating this to me that participates. Going back to the primary goal of what we're attempting to do is, first of all, we're trying to promote county government to our citizens. County government, in my opinion, our local government, in my opinion, is the most impactful government on a day-to-day basis to our citizens. And most people just don't understand that when they walk out their door, when they go to work or they go to a restaurant, their kids go to schools, things of that nature, they build a house. They just don't realize the amount of how much county government actually touches their daily lives, and just wanted to promote and show them what county government is doing for them. Two is educate them to the details of it. They get a lot of information in regards to how government works, and also how we try to get input in from citizens as a whole. County government is not a direct vertical chain of command type of system. It is designed to be spread out. For example, to have an elected sheriff, an elected register of deeds, or an elected board of commissioners. It is truly designed to basically get multiple arenas county input and county participation. As you all know, the amount of boards that you basically appoint people onto those boards, as you can see, the design of our governance is really participation from our citizens. And then finally is engagement. Hopefully at the end of this, we're able to get these participants to engage in our government, whether it be on planning boards and what I wasn't expecting. And I think, Brian, you mentioned this, that we had some come out and run for elected offices and things of that nature. And that's what we want. We want people to engage their government and participate in our government. And at the end of the day, that's what allows us to be effective and to provide great service to our community. And so, again, as we go through this process, I do have the schedule that's up on the screen. I just hope that the citizens who participate walk out of here with those three elements, and hopefully we get participation from them and engagement with their government. So, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, sir. I don't guess there's anyone online that's signed up to, okay. Anyone here that'd like to speak?
Mr. Chairman, I apologize. One other thing I just wanted to note to everybody, if you are interested, please go to our website, jacksonnc.org, and you can go down and on the homepage there, you can click and fill out the application, and there's directions on the application itself and who you send that to, basically to Ms. Tucker. I'm sorry.
Thank you, sir. Okay, next is our new business. Item 1 is the Cooperative Extension Report, or request, I should say. And Rob Hawk is coming to make that request to this board, our local Cooperative Extension Director.
Thank you, Brian. Chairman, Commissioners, and County Manager and staff, I appreciate y'all giving us the opportunity to speak to y'all. I agree with Don. County government is, I think, is the most effective and efficient government at the levels. So, we're NC State and also North Carolina A&T State University. Cooperative Extension, we're the part of the College of Agriculture and Life Science. So, just to review, half the salary comes from the universities. Okay, another half, roughly 50%, comes from the county. That's where the cooperative comes in. Of course, going back to Coach Deet's days, and some of y'all know us as Agriculture Extension Service, but they dropped that name in the 90s, and the reason is they wanted to basically educate people about cooperatives. So, anyway, it's an agreement, understanding that we have these partnerships between the county and the state. So the state, with Jackson County, we're what we call a send-in county, which means when there's a state raise that we can go to the county to see if the county will match the county portion of those salaries. So Angie sent you something here on the 2022 legislative salary increase. And the 2022 North Carolina state budget provides a 3.5% across the board mandatory base salary increase for their employees, non-faculty and faculty employees, which includes us. So, and that salary increase is retroactive back to July 1st. So, the reason I'm here is to see and request a match from the county to 3.5% of the county portion to match with the 3.5% of the state portion. So when I ran the numbers, and I shared these to Don a little bit a while ago, of our employees, and we have, let's see, 6 employees, and 3 of us are shared with also Swain County. So it comes out to an annual increase of salary for the county portion of $3,000. Let's see here, make sure $3,941, roughly, close to $4,000. So that's what I'm requesting, to see if the county will honor and match that with the state.
You've heard the request from our Cooperative Extension Director. What's the pleasure of the board?
I move we grant it.
Okay, I have a motion to grant. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Adams, did this come, as far as lining up, come out of payroll?
Yeah, this comes out of contingency. We have a salary contingency line item or our general contingency that can come out of. Yes, sir. So if you vote to do this, we'll transfer it, and then we'll have it noted at the next financial summary to the board.
Very good. Any other questions about the request?
3.5 is from the state and 3.5 is from us. So it's a 7%.
No, it's 3. So 50%, 3.5 on the county portion and 3.5 on the state portion. So it's a total of 3.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that can be confusing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, Madam Clerk, if you'd call the roll, please.
Commissioner Deets,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Stribling,
Yes.
Chairman McMahon.
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all's support, and you'll see some of the work that 4-H is doing here in just a second. So
Absolutely.
thank you.
As Mr. Hawk has alluded to, I know each year for, I don't know how many years now. Heather, how many years have we been doing this with the leadership, Youth Leadership Council?
I think this might be the 7th year that the county commissioners have partnered with 4-H.
Okay. So for the past 7 years, North Carolina Association of County Commissioners has partnered with 4-H. And of course, Heather Gordon, our local 4-H agent, working here with our youth to have what's called a Youth Leadership Council. And when the county commissioners convene for the annual conference each year for the last 7 years, that they've been able to do it in person, these youth from each county will come, and they'll have, at the same time as it coincides with the county meetings, the youth are there to be also participating in a youth leadership council, and there's some interaction at certain points during the weekend where they'll come into the meeting and interact with the county commissioner. So it's a great opportunity, a great program, and we're very fortunate this evening to have one of our Jackson County youth, Caleb Phillips, who is participating in this program, and I'm going to recognize Caleb to come forward. And Caleb is going to tell us a little bit about the program and what they're working on and the meeting that he'll be going to. And then it's one of the requirements is he has to have his photo made with us to prove that he was here and presented to us. So that's the proof. You got to have the proof. So when he concludes with his comments, we'll come down and have our photo made with Caleb.
Did you bring your Polaroid camera?
Unfortunately, I left that in the car.
Well, welcome, Caleb.
Appreciate it. Thank you for allowing me to come up here on such short notice. As stated, I'm with 4-H, and I'll be going to the commissioners meeting that is in Concord, North Carolina, here in the next couple weeks. And I represent Youth Leadership Council as one of the co-presidents. And you really hit it on the head. One of the reasons I'm up here as well is to bring up a topic that impacts that I think is important to the community, if I may have the floor to discuss something further. So for the past, I'll give some background as to why I'm talking about this. For the past 4 to 6 years, I've been deeply involved in running, and that I've personally found that important as a member of the cross-country and track programs at Smoky Mountain High School, that it's really impacted how I am as a leader, as just a member of the community. And I wanted to bring up a topic that has kind of surrounded that, is our current state of our track. Now, our track in Smoky Mountain High School is 350 meters and made out of cracked asphalt. Now, the reason I bring this up is not just because of me, not just because I'm invested in the track program, but as an important member of those teams, as I'm the captain of both of those, I notice time and time again that there's often complaints about the track because it's not regulation size, and there's many other problems with that. And we've seen as Western Carolina University has gotten their track resurfaced, it has become a great place for the community to just kind of walk, run, and work out, and so has the Greenway. And I've seen, and for years, we've had this track that has not allowed us to have cross-country, or not allowed us to have track meets, which has led to just a lack of a track program altogether in the Jackson County area. And that has led to a general lack of business as far as our ability to have track meets. If we were to have some, we would have an influx of teams coming in and out. That means people would be spending more time in the county. People would be more exposed to the county as a whole. And we have the space, and we have the space for it near the new gym, near in that area of Smoky Mountain High School. And This has just been a problem for decades as I've talked to my family who's been deeply involved in the track program. My grandpa, Mike Pendergast, my uncle, Brandon Pendergast, and my father, Adam Phillips, have all been involved in the track program at some point, and there's always been problems with that track. And through the years, if it could really bring in a lot of positive impacts to the community through having a new space for the community to come and work out in a safe environment, similar to the Western Carolina Track and the Greenway. And it would boost student morale, especially in the cross country and track programs, so they actually have a space to work out efficiently, because there's a lot of unnecessary conversions that happen with a lot of problems that arise from concrete and that sort of terrain. And that is one of the main topics I just wanted to maybe bring to light in the current community as a whole. And that was my main topic that I wanted to bring up as far as why I'm here, one of the main reasons as to why I'm here tonight. And that's the main reason. That's what I've presented today.
Well, thank you so much, Caleb. I know you're very accurate in your portrayal of the issues and the problems with our current status on the track. That is something that we have been looking at with the Smoky Mountain High School master plan to try to create a new track. And that's something that hopefully we will see in the next few years. Now, unfortunately, you may not be there to witness it by the time it gets finished, is because the wheels of government turn extremely slow, as we all know. But it is something that you're correct. It is a deficiency, and something needs to be done to correct that, to encourage enthusiasm and interest in the track and field program, to where all students have the same kind of opportunities, not just with other sports, but that this sport as well gets its due amount of attention and the needs are met. So yes, thank you for bringing that to us, and that's a very relevant issue. And as you've said and articulated here today, it would possibly mean large numbers of people coming on campus at Smoky Mountain High for track meets if we were able to hold those kind of events on a certified track that met all the standards. Other questions or comments from board members? I know Commissioner Dietz has got a long history with that whole track program, and probably more than anyone here at this table.
Well, I don't want to get into it. Through the years, I can remember running on that track when it was cinders. And most people don't even know what cinders are. But the paper mill up here burned coal to make steam, and the clinkers and stuff they call come out of it. They'd crush them up, and they wanted rid of them, and people would put them on their driveways, and little kids would eat them and all that stuff. But so that's what was on the track. Mr. Carr Hooper had that put on there, and that's what we ran on. And there's still a few people around the community can show you their elbows or something where they got a black place right there where them cinders went in there and then sealed over. And we've gone from, we've done a lot, I don't want to get into it. We've done a lot of different things through the years to try to upgrade that track. And now it's to the point that it can't be upgraded. It needs to be a full 400-meter track. So hopefully at a point we can do that. And I appreciate you bringing that to our attention, but it's something we're aware of. Another thing before I stop, I'm gonna tell you how responsible Caleb is. Ms. Gordon told me this morning that she was gonna call down here, and I believe call or talk to him, make sure he's got this lined up. He needed to present this in front of us. And she was wanting to make sure he had done that, and he told her, oh, I've already taken care of that myself. So that's good. Thank you.
he reached out to Commissioner Woody and she reached out to me to make sure we had it on the agenda.
Yeah, she said for me to say something good. So, yeah. Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Other questions or comments, Commissioner Jones?
Just want to thank you for giving us a student and athletic perspective. So often when we're in our budget meetings with Board of Education members and school officials, we hear it from an adult perspective. It was just refreshing to hear from a student. Thank you.
Especially a user.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for speaking up.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
We wish you well in Concord.
Thank you.
Hopefully, maybe some of us will see you there.
That'd be nice.
So,
Appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yes,
Ms.
please, go
Phelps,
ahead.
before you go, I'm going to show you something. Our website is jacksonnc.org, and when you go to it, you can see there's going to be a link there that ultimately, if I can find it here, that talks about to view county commissioner meetings right here. Next Tuesday, August 9th, the superintendent of the schools, Dr. Dana Ayers, and the assistant superintendent, Mr. Buchanan, is going to be standing exactly where you're at, and they're going to be discussing with this board their capital projects. And the reason I tell you that is we keep these on YouTube videos, so I know you may be at school at 1 o'clock, but then you can watch it later, and I encourage you and your family to follow through and watch that August 9th meeting, because at that point, what you will see is you'll see your school administration talking to this elected body, and one of the topics will be that track. So I point that out to you, and so if it's of interest to you, just follow through and you'll see what decisions are made and how these boards decide to move forward with it.
Appreciate that information.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you.
I'm also just gonna speak up and add, sorry, I'm not breaking the protocol here.
No, go ahead.
That the Youth Leadership Council, if you're not familiar with them, we've had, last year we had 27 on the roster, we had probably 15 maybe that were more active. But that is a group of teenagers that I would love it if you had questions that pertain to youth in the community, if you contacted us and they could at least be a group of teenagers who could speak to you or answer questions on things that relate to you. So any way we can help would be great.
You know, and the first thing that comes to my mind, Heather, is some kind of almost like a survey. We put together a list of questions or topics and have asked for them for some help for input.
Sure. And they could also help get input from other
And yeah, exactly.
students as well. So
To make sure that we're reaching a part of our population that sometimes gets overlooked.
right, and we do have homeschoolers and early college students as well as Smoky Mountain. So, or we did last year. We'll see about this year.
That's our goal, to bridge the youth to the actual local government, and that we want to do everything in our power to bring that together in the best possible way.
All right, we got to have a picture.
I have a picture.
Proof. I'm sending the proof to. I have
So what we're going to
the
do, we're going
website
to move this out of the way.
I can also send it to. I think I might put it in the paper as well.
Why don't you get the center?
All right, you're gonna have to give a teensy bit. There we go. A little bit closer. All right. Is everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's do a couple. Okay. I think I got at least
I'm
one.
going to get 1 or 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Sorry. I should get that one. It might be in the newspaper. If that's scary, do I need to get you to sign?
Are we through with Ms. Gordon?
We are.
I want her to do one other thing, Heather, please.
Yes.
I want you to tell the board about the, we'll call it an event, the thing you did with the kids and going out and visiting farms and all that stuff.
Sure. Well, nothing like being prepared to speak. In 4-H, we teach about doing presentations, and so here I am to do one for you. So 2 weeks ago, we worked with the 4-H programs in Macon and Swain counties, and it was a farm to fork
program is what we called it. So we spent the first day in Jackson County and we looked at Christmas tree farming, and that was the largest agriculture product. This young man right here joined us on that program. What else did we do? So that afternoon we looked at bee farming. Then the next day we were in Macon County, looked at a beef farm and had hamburgers for lunch. So we were connecting that. And then we went to a goat farm. They all got to learn to milk a goat or try to milk a goat. And then the last day we went to Darnell Farms in Swain County. Of course, had a dream whip, but also got a great tour to see what was happening with vegetable gardening. And then we ended up our days at Gadua to see they have Cherokee gardens there, and we planted beans. So the idea was to really connect with lots of different kinds of agriculture and for kids to be exposed to what a tomato plant looks like or what a sunflower looks like, or many had never milked a goat. So
I know it was the first for one individual for sure.
So it was great. We had a really good program, and we had 15 kids from Jackson County. It was the largest program that I had all summer in terms of interest. I actually had a couple on a wait list, so that was great.
And they went over to Representative Gillespie's
Correct.
over in Franklin. He raises Angus cattle. And I happened to see him, and I don't know if he's maybe more tickled than a 4-H'er was.
It was a great visit there, and it was fun to partner with the other 4-H programs in our region. We've been doing that more and more, just to support each other. So, and we really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for the salary increase this evening. That will benefit me particularly, so I appreciate it. Any other questions or thoughts about that? Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Okay, now to move on to something maybe not as exciting, more of a traditional business. Item 3, offer to purchase Jacob Cox with resolution R22-16. We'll recognize Ms. Baker, our county attorney.
I put on record that I'm excited to do it.
All right.
Thank you for that. So this is an offer to purchase, and this is a little bit exciting. Here we've gotten even smaller since last time, but it's this lot's here in the orange. It's this Enchanted Forest piece. The offer is for $2,000. It has been over a year since the county's owned this property, and it is. Put this one on here so you can see it. It's here in blue. This is on the Macon County line. I'll mention that again in just a minute. This is where the pressure's going. This is Pumpkin Town Road. It's coming up to the end of Pumpkin Town Road, and then you keep going and up the mountain, and that's where this is, Enchanted Forest, right on the Macon County line. It was, as I can get closer to it, this is just showing you how steep it is up in the area, as you could imagine. And then you can see here, this was part of that boundary agreement. And that's why we held off, or Ms. Ash held off on the foreclosure of this property for a while until that got squared away. But this piece here is actually in Macon County. So once this now is in Macon County, it wasn't before. So once if this deed sells, if it moves forward and this sells, it'll have to be recorded in Macon County as well. And they will get a tax bill from Macon County as well as Jackson County, which the majority of that will be in Jackson County, and our assessed value here is the $24,130. And proposed resolution, if you want to move forward on this. I will tell you, I've already gotten calls about this one, so I'm expecting as early as tomorrow upset bids coming in. So this is just really to get it started, because I think it'll go up above that 2,000.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the board concerning this offer?
I move that we accept the offer. That's what we're doing.
Yep, accept the offer and move forward with the upset bid process.
Yeah.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, any question or discussion? Hearing none then, Madam Clerk, if you'd call the roll, please.
Commissioner Stribling? Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Deeds? Chairman McMahon?
Yes, motion carries. And then while Heather is here at the podium, we'll move to the legislative portion of our agenda, item 4, which is the Glenville Cashers Rescue Squad Resolution R22-17.
So a couple of you, Chairman McMahon and Commissioner Deeds, may remember back in the fall, I believe of 2020, we saw the same resolution come through for the fire department, the Cashers Glenville Fire Department, and when they did a loan. And this is a resolution that's required by the lender, same lender that the Glenville Cashers Rescue Squad is using to build their new building. And so their lender is requiring this resolution be approved if you're willing. And it's pretty clear in here. It's just showing your approval of their loan for the $4.6 million to build the new rescue squad building, and it specifically states it does not obligate the county in any financial way. It just shows that approval and shows that we do have that ongoing contract with the rescue squad to provide that service. And this is almost identical to the one we did for the fire department, the same sort of thing, and for the same reason. But I can try and answer any questions on this if you have them.
What's the pleasure of the board concerning this resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 22-16.
17.
17?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, is it 16? Andy?
Well, 16 was the offer to purchase resolution, that's why.
Okay. Yeah. So it probably will have to be 17.
It's 17. We'll make that
Okay.
correction on there. So it is 17.
All right, we have a motion.
17.
All right, we have the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any question or discussion about what we're being asked to vote on? Any final questions? And for the loan itself, I mean, that's something we've included in our budget as far as.
Yes, sir. The debt service payment that the board approved in the budget process is in the budget, and we're prepared to move forward with the payment reimbursements.
Any other thoughts or comments, questions? All right, hearing none then, Madam Clerk, if you'd call the roll, please.
Commissioner Deeds? Yes. Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Stribling?
Yes.
Chairman McMahon?
Yes, motion carries. Any press conference? I don't think there's anyone online, is there? Okay. Any need for closed session this evening? Okay. All right, well, then the next thing in order would be a motion to adjourn. Someone would like to make that?
Make a motion that we adjourn.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.